What's going on, y'all? We're back with a little tailgate talk today. We out here at the farm. We come out here this morning to listen for turkeys, do a little shed hunting. Pretty successful. It's been a good morning. Heard a good many birds. Found some sheds, and it's cold, man.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot colder this morning than it's been being. We were kind of optimistic that we'd come out here and hear a bunch of birds, and that's what happened.
It's like we talked about. The landscape's changed, man. It's different.
Yeah, I didn't recognize the place coming in. Even from the end of deer season, it's changed so much since then. Like I didn't even realize where we were until the sun came up.
So we really just kind of stuck to what we usually do. So we'll try it and listen, and it worked. So we're gonna keep coming. We got a few more weeks till season comes in, and we're gonna keep coming and listen and walking and looking and trying to drop a game plan, see what happens, and we'll keep every time we're out here, we'll have our eyes to the ground looking for sheds. But today we're going to kind of dive into a story for us that just a bird that whooped us. We never put him on the back of the truck. He whooped us. We called him Ridge Runner. And,
yeah, he gave us a go around for at least one season. Everything we seemed to do.
Yeah, we threw the book at him.
Yeah, we threw everything but the kitchen sink. It was every trick we had up our sleeve. It's like he already knew what was going to happen before it happened, and he got the best of us.
So we'll just kind of dive into it. We were at our old place, and when you come through the gate, there was pretty much a big clear cut right in front of it. There was a road to the left that went down to the pond, and then there was a road, that come through the gate. The road led you straight to the power line. It was white sandy road, and opening morning turkey season, we said we'll just kind of go between the gate and the power line. Pat and another friend of ours has killed turkeys. We're kind of in that middle section, so we're just gonna start it out. With lo and behold, we struck a bird up, and he worked good, and we thought it was gonna happen, and all of a sudden he just got quiet. And it just died off, and we never killed him. So following weekend comes up, we go down to the left side of the pond, kind of same scenario. Bird strikes up, working. We think we're going to kill him.
Just played Houdini. He kept disappearing on us. There was a knoll that rise in that clear cut, and he kind of, it's what we ended up calling the ridge, but he kind of liked to work that area, and he wasn't far from there most of the times we heard him, but it seemed just like he just disappeared every single time.
I went out there a couple times. I'd get off work early or something. I'd shoot out there in the afternoons, and I could strike him up, but I never could get him to work, and he stayed on the ridge right there. So that's what Pat said. We named him the Ridge Runner.
There wasn't any cover, nothing where.
No, it's in the middle of the clear cut.
One little piece of a peninsula, whatever you want to call it, of trees that jutted out in the clear cut, but it was hard to get out there to him.
I mean, you'd have to you legit have to call him out of the clear cut, or you'd have to be on the edge of the clear cut and get him in gun range. Yeah. Well, through the season goes on, I'm talking to my older brother Henry, and I call him, and I'm talking to him, and I'm feeding stuff off of him. Pat and I are trying to come up with ideas, and we're sitting down, and we've tried everything. We've tried hunting morning, midday, afternoon. I mean, leaving them alone for a little bit. We tried everything, and one day we decided we know where he's always at. We're gonna get up super early, like 2 hours before the sun comes up, and go get in that peninsula and just get ready, chill out, and just not even hoot or nothing, just let him do his thing, because he would usually fire off in the morning.
Yep.
So we get in, I mean, what?
It was, I don't even remember what time, but it was super early. We sat there at least an hour before daylight even thought about cracking.
So I'm pretty sure I fell asleep, if I ain't mistaken. I'm pretty positive I fell asleep. Well, the sun starts coming up, and the birds are coming alive, the owls are going at it, the owls are starting to monkey, and you figure he's about to gobble.
It was time to gobble, and we didn't hear nothing.
We didn't hear no gobbles, nothing, not a single bird, nowhere. And we're sitting there, and the time is slowly passing. And I look down at my phone, it's been over 2 hours since the sun's come up. We ain't heard nothing. We're like, well, darn, we're going to get up and go see if we can find something. Y'all, when I tell you we done slept in his bedroom, we were 60 yards from that turkey, and when we got up, he flew out of the tree.
Yeah, it surprised us because, like you said, we didn't hear him, never heard him rustle his feathers, nothing.
He watched us legit walk in there that morning, get situated, and he stayed on the limb, never moved, never rustled, didn't do nothing until we got up to walk. And then when he went to open his wings to make that first initial leap is when we heard and saw him, and we saw the beard hanging, we saw everything. I mean, we were I have never felt more defeated in my life.
Yeah, that was a tough one to swallow, especially we woke up earlier than we normally do, slipped in there, thought we were doing the right thing, and it comes along with that's one of our mistakes. We tried everything else and figured why not.
I felt like we were patient too, because we had waited for a few hours after the sun come up. So I called my brother and I'm talking to him, and he was like, well, I'm gonna come see if I can help you. Something happened.
I was out of town.
You were out of town, so my brother comes, and I tell him the whole scenario, and I show him. So we start on the road to the pond, which is to clear cuts right in front. Road to the pond kind of goes to the left. Road to the power line goes straight. So it makes that 90. And just like normal, he fires off, and there's a little bitty 6 or 7 little pines kind of stood right there next to the road. That the fire break worked right there next to it. The clear cut's right there. The road to the pond runs this way. So it was actually a decent little spot to kind of hide. And we throw the decoy out. My brother, he's probably 5 or 6 yards behind me, and he's gobbling. All of a sudden, I look up and I see him, and he's on top of that ridge. He's about 80, 90 yards from us, and he's blowed up. And I mean, it looks like his beard's just 8 feet behind him, dragging. It's just, oh man, there he is.
One of the bigger birds we probably ever chased.
Every time he gobbled, I could feel it in my chest. Well, my brother would cut, or he'd do something, and he'd come off that ridge, and he'd get down off the ridge a little bit, and he'd blow up, and then he'd stretch his neck out and go to gobble. I'm like, oh yeah, he's gonna commit. And then he would stop, turn around, and go right back up, and he'd go up and down that ridge 50 to 60 yards right on top. And all he was doing was saying, come on, baby, I'm over here.
Yeah, that's kind of that's the way God kind of made these critters anyways. Very seldom will you see a gobbler go to a hen. He's letting her know, hey, I'm over here. Come see me. This is my house. You come to my house. And that's the way it's designed. And every time we go out, any of us, that's what we're trying to fight against. We're trying to get the gobbler to come to us, and it's kind of against nature's way.
And so that was actually the last hunt we had on him, because they ended up selling the property right after turkey season. And you've heard us talk about this place. That place is always will be near and dear to my heart. A good friend of ours, Wes, that was his family's land that they allowed us to go and come as we please, just treat it like your own. I mean, it was just an amazing place.
Yeah, it was a good place for us to grow up hunting and hanging out together. And
we cut our teeth out there. Our teeth out there.
Yeah, we learned a lot of things out there. A lot of
made a lot of mistakes out there.
A lot of mistakes, but we also had a lot of fun and a lot of success out there in the turkey woods and the deer woods.
Yes, sir.
That's kind of one of them things where we tried everything, got a little aggressive.
We did.
It just didn't pan out. He was smarter than us.
Aggressive, patience, early, midday. They call it the midday lull. We waited that out. We went in afternoons. I mean, I've seen him. I laid eyes on him. Well, we never could just seal the deal. He whooped us. I mean, I bet that bird I bet his spurs was that long, sharp as razor blades.
He was probably a state record.
I mean, it was unreal. And all jokes aside, his beard was about to touch the ground. And he's just a big bird, and I'm sure he'd probably been there for forever.
Yeah.
You know, we did kill birds off that place, and he just one of them things. You know, he whooped us, and when we left, to this day, I still want a shot at him.
Yeah.
I want a shot at the Ridge Runner, which I'm sure by now he's in turkey heaven. But I'd love to have an opportunity to chase him one more time, just because it was just that whole cat and mouse game, that chess game. I mean, it got you addicted. I mean, you were locked in, and he consumed us for the season.
Yeah, and you know, birds like that and animals like that, anything you get a big deer on camera or whatever, you know, like we've talked about in the past, that's what feeds your passion. That's what feeds our passion, and that's what keeps us going out in the woods and you know, learning. That's all we've killed a lot of other birds since him, and you know, we learned a lot from hunting him. I mean, just based off of the topography and kind of where he liked. We knew he was in his zone, and that's where he was going to be, and it's helped us on other birds, you know, that acted similar to him, and we've been successful. So, you know, it's kind of one of the things that feeds us and helps us grow as hunters.
I'd still like to see him on a better truck.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
And it was. I don't like being whooped like that, and he put it on us and put it on us hard.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was buying new calls. I was like, oh, I need to change up my sound. And he just, when he first started out, every morning when every hunt would start, you're like, oh, this is it. You know, we're in the chips. He's gonna be in the bed of the truck. We're ready to get the Polaroid out. It's time to take some pictures.
Yep.
And nah. Mm-mm.
Yep. And mentioning, you know, buying new calls and making different sounds, I think we're going to get into, you know, the next episode where we're kind of starting to talk about, you know, different people, different sounds. Every turkey's different, you know, just kind of the mindset behind what we do and our tactic for us going after that, and you know, some little tips and tricks when running a diaphragm versus, you know, using a pot call or box, or when do we use these type of calls and how do we use them. So, you know, I think that's a good place and good way for us to kind of go into next week.
So y'all hit that like and subscribe button, man. Hit us up in the comments, please. Let us know what you want to hear.
Yeah.
You know, if we hit it, let us tell some of your stories.
Yeah.
Just leave us a comment, hit us up, let us know.
Yeah, we just enjoy talking about it and sharing everything we got, our past and future hunts, and like you said, just keep supporting us, keep watching, and we'll keep bringing you some more stuff.
We'll appreciate it.